Okay, I think it's begun. If I'm correct. Just need to get the rest of this stuff set up. Oh, okay. Whatever. That doesn't matter. Yes, perfect. Okay. Okay. Oh! Oh no, I messed up. I accidentally gave it 360 view. I didn't mean to do that. Oh! Okay. That was an accident. I didn't mean to do that. So I didn't mean to make this a 360 view. I hope nobody minds that. I could draw in 360, but I think people would care if that was the case. So I'm gonna go to Clip Studio, and I'm gonna hope that nobody says anything about the fact that I made this in 360 view. I don't know how I did this. I didn't realize that was possible. I didn't realize that making my computer 360 was... What? Internet Explorer? Okay, whatever. I don't care. I didn't realize that having my computer in 360 was an option. So that's unique. Except I'm going to start drawing, I guess. Yeah, it's been quite a while since I have done any sort of live stream, and this never gets easier. It never gets easier to talk to myself at a computer, but I do enjoy it. I feel like it's fun to do this stuff, especially considering you know, I don't really do this for the views. I only have 88 subscribers. I used to have 99. You know, I was looking forward to getting 100, but it seems that my lack of uploading has caused 2 people to unsubscribe. So, I mean, I can't say I disagree. I definitely understand that. I will say though, I am slightly saddened by that. I would hope for people to stick around, but that's nothing you can really ever make anybody do. So I'm gonna see if this live stream will work in 360. I've never done 360 before, so I don't know if this will look weird or not, or I don't know if this is just what I'm seeing on my screen. But for some reason, my thing is in like 360 view, so we're just gonna let this play out. So, you know, I'm not adding any music right now, but if people join and start typing in the chat they want some music or like recommending a playlist, then I can put that on, but I'm just going to start scribbling right now. Let's see what I come up with. Oh, I've been really into this game as of late, and it is called Lyoden. Now, I actually came across this sister version of the game that came out actually more recently, and it's called Wolf Den. And I guess it's more new because there's a lot of older players than newer players on Wolf Den. So more people actually play the older game, which shocked me, or I think more people play the older game. The servers are more active, so I don't know if it's the one that I'm in on Discord, but the one that I'm in is way more active than the Wolf Den server. So either Wolf Den players just do not go on Discord, or there's just not an abundance of them. But I've actually fallen in love with both of the games. I haven't played Wolf Den as much lately. I've tried to be on daily, but I have like 40 wolves now, and they don't, they're all starving, so I don't have enough to afford food for all 40 wolves, which means that they're just kind of sitting in there until somebody gives me food. I try to give out free stuff to players, mostly because I just play for the fun of it. I try to breed cool wolves, mostly like piebalds and patches, but that's kind of the most of it. I think that some of the lethal mutations are really cool, but those are like really rare to get. Here I'm drawing my boy Skyline as a lion. I thought maybe it might be a fun little play on the fact that there's both Wolf Den and Lion Den. And I've kind of drawn him a little bit before. I think because the screen is in 360, if you scroll around a little bit, you're gonna see him pop up behind you. He's just a little blue, orange, and pink guy. Very neon, very hard to miss. But, very cutesy. I think he's a very preppy little cutesy guy. Very, pleasant on the eyes. Maybe? I don't know. But I've been pretty much doing nothing this summer. I've seen that a lot of people have been, for the most part, you know, going out and stuff. There's been a lot of really cool animation projects that I've seen online as of late, and it's something that I really admire. It's also something that's kind of tragic because with the rise of like new animators comes the downfall of old ones. And if you've ever been in the animation community, you know that a lot of old animators either get exposed for controversial behavior, or they just kind of quit. I used to actually really, well, I actually still do, love quite a few animators. There's Tuxedos, there's Garachi, Retrodial, Amelia Both, and Ava G. And those are some really, really talented animators. If you've ever looked at their animations and enjoyed the things that they make, then you'll find that they're really talented at what they do. Now, of course, a lot of them, they do draw like animals and stuff, and that's probably what attracted me to drawing animals in the beginning as like especially a child. But I find that drawing it can tend to be therapeutic, and it's something that when you look at these animations and these animators, you find that they're like both like extremely good. But the thing with good animation is that there is also the issue of, you know, making something that looks like visually appealing, but also that is very like time spending, time consuming. And like a lot of these people, as you like grow older, these people have started off as like teenagers that had nothing but time, and so can like make a lot of this art and this like very time consuming animation. Whereas like now that they've gotten older, they don't have as much time to make these animations anymore like they used to. And that's something that's like sad, because like these animations are like really, really good, and it's something that you wish that you could see more of, especially like in the modern day, because 2D animation is not common anymore. Despite, you know, what people have grown up with, that's just not something that really happens as much. And you see a lot of 2D drawings, of course. But I think digital is where the trend is starting to lean towards. And with the rise of AI animation and AI drawings, of course, that's not something you want to be on the side of, considering that that's taken away from the work that a real person can do. But the fact that people are buying into this in the consumer base kind of shows that that's really where people are starting to lean towards, despite the protests of a lot of people in animation and art communities. But it's kind of this harsher reality that nobody really wants to look at, is that nobody really appreciates this classic old style art anymore, where people want to make drawing more accessible, but then nobody's talking about the fact that art is already accessible. You don't have to be the next Da Vinci in order to make an art or a piece of artwork. I forget who it was from, but there's actually a YouTuber on here that was talking about this animator Vune, and if you've ever watched Vune before, they do animation with a very unique style of art. And what's so captivating about it is the fact that this art doesn't look very appealing. It looks like any regular sketch, and so you wouldn't find it very assuming, where you would think that the animation would be very good or interesting. But it's the fact that bad art makes good storytelling is something that I feel is very niche in today's modern animation world, where it's kind of something that you don't see a lot, where you don't have to put a lot of effort into the art if you're putting effort into stuff like the storytelling of your characters, where you can make a character that doesn't look the best. You can make it wonky. It could have one arm that's shorter than the other, and it wouldn't matter because the storytelling makes up for it. And it's not the fact that you're drawing, but it's the fact that you have the creativity to make something up like that and spend your time on a unique concept or idea. And I personally value that. But of course, with the fact that there's growing up, there's been not a lot of time to focus on stuff like content creation or video making or live streaming. And I've always been an infrequent poster, but definitely uploading videos has been a hobby and a wish, and a big goal of mine is to have some sort of prevalence online. And so I do these things mostly not for the fame or to have a notoriety on YouTube, but mostly for a community, and the fact that people will watch my videos and then be oh, that's the person that has these characters and these identifiable traits. But I do enjoy sharing my art and doing stuff purely out of hobby, and being able to share that with other people. I've been off YouTube for quite a while, mostly because of personal things, where life happens and things change, and there's not the same amount of time that I had before to do the things that I like. But I do find it nice to be able to take time out of my day to get to indulge and stuff like that. I don't see anybody in the live stream, probably because I always do these at random hours of the night, but I will continue to draw in silence until somebody joins. And if somebody joins, then I will look out for that and respond. That's where I'm going with that. And I've accidentally given him a case of chubby face. So that wasn't on purpose. But we're just gonna go with it. We're just gonna go with it and see where this takes us. So, let's see here. I've been off YouTube for quite a while. I don't use it as much as I usually do. Probably like a few years now that I have not used YouTube as much as I did when I was little. It's probably changed like a lot of things for me, especially with the like addition of YouTube Shorts. And I don't appreciate having a lot of my videos converted to Shorts that used to be just normal videos. But I have been aware of a old YouTube creator by the name of Lupus Vulpus. So this creator Lupus Vulpus, who I think had a OC named Darky, Darky with 2 Ks, who got canceled, I think either like during COVID or pre-COVID, for like transphobic behavior. I think because of like religious ties that they had, where they didn't believe in like trans rights. So there was that. but I came across a video on TikTok where now don't get me wrong, I know that like the general design for Skyline is like a very basic design, and I'm sure that there are tons of them out there where he's not like an original design whatsoever. It was the fact that they'd like copied like most of his design and personality for me that was shocking, because I've never actually seen a character that has ever looked like any of mine, which is what's kind of shocking. The thing is that because of like the nature of the video that I found, it's kind of unclear if this is like a new thing that's occurred, or like this is old and from the original Lupus Vulpes, because the from what I gathered with the story of their character Darky is that they have like multiple different forms. The thing is that after like the cancellation of Lupus Vulpes, I think they either sold or had their characters sold after they left the internet. And so this could either be a case of a character that was inspired by the original Darky, or like is actually a character that was made by Lupus Vulpes, regardless of whether it was made by Lupus Vulpes themselves or like by a fan or like an old fan of Lupus Vulpes. It's unclear to me. But there's a video on TikTok, if you look hard enough you'll find it, of Lupus Vulpes, it's under the name Lupus Vulpes, but it's an animation, like a full-blown animation of a blue wolf with orange cheeks, orange eyes, orange ears, and I can't forget if they had the darker muzzle that I usually add to Skyline. Sometimes it's not included, the way I draw him. And I know that the pink hair that I've added to him is kind of a new addition, which is me mostly trying to make his design unique. But there is a video of a character that has a very striking resemblance to his design, and it's really gaudy how alike the character in the video looks to Skyline. And I would like be very upset if this is like an intentional copying. I'm kind of upset at the idea of like somebody having the same like character design as him, but then again, like considering the fact that it's like online, there's not really any such thing as like owning a character. But the resemblance is shocking. I probably could find a photo if I really looked and pulled up what I found, but I will not be doing that this live stream because I do not have the energy or the patience to. Just clean this up. Let's see. The more I grow up, the more I start to not really appreciate the look of his character design. I feel like it is like unique enough to where like he can stand out among like other characters, enough so, but not enough to where like you could see like a very detailed character and then be able to like remember him out of like a sea of other characters that look you know, there's like 100 different like blue dogs. So let's see here. A little bit of pink. And we're done. There we go. He is looking gay as ever. That's for sure. And then we'll do a little skyline. 08 13 2025. And there we go. Alright. So far, still nobody joining. So I'm going to save this and then start a new drawing. Let's see. I've tried to start my Jackals from Hell, but to do that I would need an online presence. Like I think I need to boost my online presence a bit more before I want to start any of that. But I am working towards that. I know I started that how long ago? I am still working towards that. So anybody who's in my Jackals from Hell server who is looking forward to that, or at least knows about it, but is wondering why I haven't gotten to it, that's why, for the most part. I do plan on working towards that, however. Alright. Now, from the topic of Jackals, then let's do... What should we do? I'll do Hatchet. Hatchet's like the easiest to draw. Actually, it's more bulkier than that. It's got kind of boxy eyes here. I can kind of accentuate that. I don't know how. I don't know how to go about that. Let's see. Yeah. Seems about right. I'm trying to go for like a more stylistic approach lately, so that might help a little bit. I've been trying to keep up with realism, but it gets a little taxing when you're not really in the mood. Let's see. I don't know. And then, God, the chin is always the hardest part, in my personal opinion. Especially when I give them like an underbite like this. Let's see. Alright. It's kind of a severe overbite, I would say. Maybe something that like passed on from his first life. Or something he gained now that he has become a jackal. Definitely a very big characteristic of Hatchet. Let's see here. I can't. I mean, looks okay. Guess. Not the best drawing of him, but okay, we'll fix this. So far so good, I would say personally. Looks alright. And now it's time for the reason they call him Hatchet. Alright. So far he's looking pretty good, I would say. And oh hey, we've got a few people in the live stream. Hello! How are you all doing? If any of you have song requests or just want to talk in the chat, feel free to do so. And this live stream is mostly just me drawing. But if any of you have anything to say, feel free to stay as long as you want and talk amongst each other. Alright, it's looking pretty good now. I think I might add color if I want this to be like a real drawing. But not quite yet. There you go. I should fix this here. Alright. So, should probably fix this here. If I want it to look like it's coming out of him. Kind of wonky, so I'm gonna fix that. Okay, if anybody asks, that is a horn. That is a horn. I assure you that is a horn. And not like a weird tumor growing out of his head. So I would say now it's probably time for coloring. My least favorite part of drawing. And like orange. Oops. That's nope. Alright. Time to that. Make him again. I think it was like a rusty, dirtyish golden brown. I like that. And then his back was like this. Was there you go. So, of course, with all the different jackals in Jackals from Hell, they while they are like all the same like kind of animal, they're like of course different species. So there's like the golden jackal, the blackback jackal. I don't know if that's like the only ones or not. Or if there's more. I think there's like a Siamese jackal. No. Or like Vietnamese. I don't know. There's like quite a few jackals. So Shotgun is a black-backed jackal. And then here, Hatchet is supposed to be a golden jackal. So you get his ears colored up. And then I do see a few people leaving and then joining. Can't exactly see who's there unless you comment, but it's nice to see that people are joining. It tells me that at least some people are getting recommended my live, which is it's appreciated. I appreciate it. Let's see here. There you go. So that just the tiniest little, yeah, just ever so slightly crossed little black line here. There you go. Yeah, that's nice. It's looking nice. Okay. Let's see if I can clean this up a little bit. Alright. Let's see about this. just ever so slightly overcolored. There we go. Just fix that. Happy little accidents only. Let's see. I feel like nobody talks about this, but eyeballs are always like a little bit grayish. My personal opinion. So I feel like they're always like a little bit grayish to a little bit bluish. So these eyes are a bit more brown than that. There you go. Alright, I don't know if that actually is. We're gonna gloss over that. I don't think that's fully black, but we're just gonna let that be. And then one here, the black, and just color that all in, just like that. There we go. And then the teeth have a little bit of a different color than the eyes, where they're just a little bit yellow. Just ever so slightly yellow. Just like that. There we go. Let's get this part right here. And then it's kind of like a peach, like a dirty peach color. There you go. And then we're just gonna color that in that. That's nice. Forgot to draw on that one singular hair, but that's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about that. Let's get this colored in. There we go, looking nice. Let's see, is that gonna only oh, okay. Still counts, so I'm gonna do, see, did a little bit like here, and kind of like over here. There we go. There's a whole lot of pink. And you would never think that pink would be, you would start to draw blood, but that is how I do it. So we're going to do a little bit of a blur. And we're going to do, what is it, like an overlay? Yeah, like that, I would think. No? Yeah, that. And then we're gonna do kind of a red. No. Let's do black. Let's do black here. I'm gonna go down to 10, and then we're gonna start to, okay, we're gonna do it like this. Alright. Let's see if we make that big enough. Nope. Not big enough. Start doing like little venom strands here. See where that takes us. And we're gonna do down to 5, I think. Let's do down to 5. these out. And I forgot. Yep, that's something I would do. Let me just look at this. This is like the ugly phase of all my drawings. Because you talk about like all the pretty ways you can make a drawing, and then this is, you take away the line art, this is what it looks like. And it is nasty. It's much better with the lines, I'll say. Unless you're trying to make like a stylization, in which I'd say Arcade Kitten does it like 1,000 times better. Alright. Let's see. Looks good. So I can do a little bit of a yes. Actually, I'd rather. Alright, and then we just do a little bit of this. See if we can do a little bit of this right here. There we go. darken. That's not possible. Then maybe like a slightly darker red. Let's see if we can pull a little bit of a darker red here. Yeah. Alright, there we go. Put these up on that there. You go to here. And just start hiding all of this here. Let's do a little bit of a darken. So slightly, just there we go. And just doing a little bit of airbrushing here. That. Oh, that's not bright enough. We'll do like this. Yeah, there we go. Like, kind of big, but not very. Lower than that. Let me see. Maybe so slightly lighter than that. Blur, a little bit of Gaussian. Let's see. I kind of want just a little bit darker than that. Just like. There we go. And then like a lighter orange. And for this, can I not do like a little bit of black and see how this goes? Black might be too much. I don't know. That's why we're trying it out. We're just seeing what sticks. And then if we just give it like an average dark background, I think it'll look, yeah. Alright, looks pretty decent. Let's see. We're at like an hour mark now. This is usually where I stop my streams, so I'm gonna leave it here. Sorry that this live stream was in 360. I really don't know how that ended up. Anyways, I'm just gonna leave this up afterwards. You can like rewatch it, make fun of me or whatever. I don't really care. Anyways, whoever watches this, have a good day. Stay safe.